practical flaws, but the inherent freedom, motivation of it all, like we would rather have the choice to drive our own vehicle across country than be trapped in some regimented, mandated system, stuck with whomever for however long, right? And I think that a lot of these people have childlike utopian views. And I brought this up to Citizen Lou in the chat because I think he said he was 20, he's 31, and I know he said he doesn't have kids yet. And so I'm like, oh, well, obviously, yeah, the views of the young and the childless, right? That's really kind of how it works in a lot of ways. When you're young and childless, the world looks a certain kind of fantastical way to you. And then having children, perhaps it puts a lot of other dangers in crystal clear perspective after that. And then as you age and live and have experience, just the practical realities of life become ever present, and you realize certain truisms become inescapable, right? And then it is what it is. Then you realize some things are inherently lost causes, like that whole clip about we should care about the homeless. There is no solution, there's no public solution that makes every individual street person want to do whatever it takes to rejoin society, right? You'll never have a mass government solution for that.
Mhm. Yep.
You're not allowed to really live in that reality as a child, right? But life and experience in children puts things in perspective. Freeman's Journal, welcome to the show, bro. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. So I really, the phenomena of intelligent people leaving the diaspora is, well, that is my evidence that it's IQ. Unless there is some sort of explanation or like extra context to that, because at a certain level, people are just like, I'm not doing this, and they're going, and that is diaspora wide. Right, that's Africa, that is the Caribbean, that is America, that is everywhere. The people that are able, right, are out. They refuse to participate.
Now let's just be crystal clear about your framing in mind. And so my direct question for the whole show and the panel itself is: does the black community have the ability to solve our own problems? And your argument against this, I'm assuming you're arguing in the negative. Your argument against this is no, because the intelligent people that the black community does produce, these people choose to abandon any efforts for the most part and plant their flags elsewhere. This is your argument if I'm still manning you.
Yes, you are still manning correctly.
Hey, but the community itself doesn't produce anything. In fact, they made it in spite of the community.
Yeah. They're anomalies for sure, right? Um, but they exist. So, but when they do exist, they just like deuces. I'm not doing this.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
hear you want to jump in. Dirty folks, I'm going to step away for a second. You got the floor. I'm going to come back and respond, and we'll have this IQ versus culture argument. Dirty, you got it.
I don't think it's an anomaly. I okay, here's my problem. To be able to commune in unity is a male thing. Men commune in unity. Women not so much. So leaving a place where you're not appreciated, you're supposed to, right? You join the service or you get a job, move to another city. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on the mass dysphoria from hood shit, right? I'm with you. In order to save any community, I don't like black because black is just for women, gays, and felons. So you can't save women, tr- gays or felons from their natural proclivity to create dysfunction. That's what they do. That's what they are. It doesn't matter who they are, it's what they are. But for men, men can create a community that's based on the best self-interest of men. And they do. So when people leave those deleterious hoods, they move to communities run by men. And you know they're run by men because you see fathers playing catch with their sons. You see women running in those Asics with no socks. They feel safe. When men create a space everybody's safe. I think the first step of saving the quote unquote black community is subjugating the women. But why you see them equal, why you see them as somebody you can build with, why you vote for them when they try to get public offices of power, why you think it's a win, why you think symbolism is a win. Like we have a black person in the White House. Like, what did he do for you? When you use the symbolism of a crayon, you're doomed to fail because only toddlers like crayons.
Wait,
So
I got a question for Freeman specifically, and it kind of goes with this a little bit, but like Round Rock, you said you lived in that greater area or whatever. I almost got a job out there when I got out the military,
Mm-hmm.
so like I really like the area, man. But did they have like a bus line that goes through that particular community?
Oh, two Round Rock? Nah,
What about low income housing?
nah.
Okay, all right.
Mm.
My bad for stepping on you dirty.
no, you know something. I dropped the mic. I got a
I
friend
just
in
had,
Round Rock though.
I just had to ask that question because I was just thinking. I'm like, how did this happen?
You
When
know exactly how it happened.
they try to keep out like a lot of this stuff that
Yeah,
lead to that.
SKC showed it. The flyer for Juneteenth was extremely community oriented. So even in a city where the average home price is $420,000, they still gunned down two mothers.
So do you think it was like people that helped set it up that were like, oh well, let's appeal to such and such this year, like one of those like, oh, let's change it up kind of things.
That I don't know. I would be interested to find out as well. If it was like, most years it's like the Commodores, you know what I mean? And then this year they said, hey, let's spice it up some. I'm not sure, but I'd
'Cause
be interested to find out.
I need to look at the flyer because I heard y'all talking about it, but I couldn't look at my phone. Um, but like this kind of goes with this whole like thing, like the honor and all this other stuff, and like even stuff from older streams that Hood and you have done, even Dirty a little bit, to where like the first thing to like avoid danger is avoidance, and like there's no avoidance whatsoever. In fact, it's doing everything to like paint a bullseye on you to make you a target for those that would harm you or try to swoop down on you. You know what I'm saying?
My question is who brought him?
Yep.
He's 17 years old. Who brought him? I have my thoughts, but I would like to know who brought him to Round Rock. Um, these situations are, and I had a great Juneteenth, by the way. So, and one of the craziest things that happened is I went to meet the U.S. Senator and the Secretary of State at a Juneteenth function, right? And I went because they had free food. So, free food and me, we peas and carrots, right? And when I got out there, I started talking to the people of that community, of that neighborhood. And they were like, "Yo, this our first Juneteenth picnic, but we used to have picnics all the time. I forgot what it was for, some type of neighborhood picnic. But we quit having it for a few years because they kept shooting them up. But we gonna have another one this year. Y'all want to come out?" I'm like, "Yo, lady, this ain't my park. Like, I'm not coming back here." Um, but it was safe that particular day, and they shut down at 5 o'clock. So here's my thing: anytime you have a gathering, a gaggle, if you will, of colors in one location, violence is always an option, right? Unless it's a controlled environment, violence is always an option. 70% of that violence happens over women. The ability to, the proclivity of black men to protect women instead of protecting themselves from women is the first step of destroying your community, right? Once you say that's my mother, that's my sister, once you give her a title instead of like, yo, that's my breeder, you're protecting a title, which is very, very natural, very humane, right? That's part of the hierarchy to protect the title. But they give these titles, even now we're giving them goddess, right? They give these titles and then they live and die by those titles. So the first thing to build a community is number one, religion. And I think Hood said, well, number one is money. You got to have commerce. Number two is religion, though. You got to give them a different belief system. And then number three, it has to be run and operated by the people whom which have the most to lose in that community, considering that 75% of all black women live transient. So they don't have any investment in the community anyway. So all
Yeah,
those things are a mindset that you got to choose between being black or being a man. If you can't make that discernment, then there's nothing to save anyway. You just run it.
yeah, there is nothing to say. And to your point about not investing in the community, if if you have a large percentage of people on welfare, then you certainly aren't investing. Somebody else, the taxpayers invested, but you weren't.
All right, I'm back now. So, and I was listening. I was listening for the most part, but let me offer this to the conversation. I'm thinking about the story of South Africa, right? And then obviously there's a lot to go over, so we're not going to get into every detail. But basic idea is that white folks came down there and built this country up. Black folks came in a little later, want to live in. White folks is like, nah, you niggas can't be doing stuff. They oppressed the black folk, and the black folk they rose up as the story goes, right? So I think one of the things that we don't quite grasp about a place like South Africa is a system of life was introduced to a particular region, to particular people that had no real experience with this way of living. And so they had to learn what it was like to live the Western lifestyle and all that shit. And then eventually, what got introduced to the black South African population, which was basically what we would call like this liberation theology kind of movement, like this Marxist socialist communist ideology. And at the same time, similar ideas were working their way through like the black American community too. And what I argue, what I wonder, this is like my hypothesis here, how much of this ideology has really destroyed whatever intellectual capacity that naturally existed, right? And this is not to say that there is no difference in the IQs and all that, because I'm not even trying to argue the traditional IQ debate and all that. But what I'm asking is it really a matter of raw IQ, or did we just swallow a poison pill?
I'll go for the poison pill. Like case in
What?
point, I was talking to somebody 2 weeks ago, and I never heard of the school before. Highland Folk School. Are you familiar with that?
No, I am not.
Apparently, it was a school, now a research center where Martin Luther King attended and Rosa Parks attended, and several other notable people of the civil rights that shared similar views, if you will. Just like a lot of American culture is marketed to us. What if some of these ideas were, basically planted in some of the people that we, hold in high regard? Because it don't just like ass whippings don't fall out the sky, hood. This ideology doesn't fall out the sky either.
Um, I did an entire show about that on Juneteenth. Entire show. Everything that people call black was given to them by the Semites. Every piece of it. From Juneteenth, the actual, I mean, the date is real, but the actual holiday of Juneteenth, everything about it is manufactured by the Semites. So that's not really a hard stretch of the imagination. The most dangerous thing, the greatest indicator of that is what's old girl name? The lawyer chick who won't date a bus driver, but she'll have semen from a bus driver who needed $25.
Emily K. Williams.
All right. When she first came on my radar, it's because she was doing a show about how the Democratic Party was nervous that black men no longer listen to black women for their voting choices, right? And a huge part of that is because if you can control the men by controlling the women, then you get the men by default. And nobody except Black America, nobody cares about their women like that. You can't think of another culture besides um Karens where you don't think of another ethnic group and you think of their women. Not unless you're thinking sexually. You don't think about their women. When you think about what Mexicans do, you think landscaping and taco stands, whatever the case may be. You don't really think about their women. Only Black people use their women as a default for their racial pride or whatever you want to call it. And that in itself is an issue. So all you got to do is like ignore women. I mean, according to women, according to the Ebony K. Williams of the world, all you got to do is ignore women, and you will have the utopia is a stretch, but you will have the governance in which you seek, because that's what the community is, right? I don't believe everybody in the community on welfare, but the fact that you said it and nobody really argued your point, that's what the community is, right? A bunch of goofy chicks who don't listen to a man but need a man resources.
Yeah. I mean, 70% out of wedlock birth rate, bro. There's, I mean, there's a whole bunch, right? That equals a whole bunch of
It's
welfare.
70%,
Right.
and then at that 70%, 62% pregnant by the same 4% of men. So it's not even like men and women are doing deleterious things. It's like women are doing what they want to do, and all men must pay.
Well, I mean, men are. It's just an aggregate of men are not, while an aggregate of women are.
Which actually leads me to another element to this IQ thing, right? Women, how do we frame this succinctly? Women's free range sexual choices will lead to a collective lowering of what we call IQ. Let's put it that way.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Can I interrupt you real quick?
No, you got it. That's it.
Okay, so the Russian Fox experiment, man. Since the 70s, there was a hard break, right? Or not a hard break, but a hard turn in the actual mating habits, right? The community, right? And women who were able to raise children without men, right, have been selectively breeding for men who accept female authority, right? Low IQ, low impulse control, and probably high testosterone.
No,
So,
no.
and
One
you
thing. One
do
thing.
that for, hold on, just let me say, you do that for a couple of generations, right? It doesn't take 10,000 years. You can get that done in a couple of generations easily.
Explain the Russian fox imagery in this, because I want to know what the connection is.
Okay. So the Russian fox experiment was they domesticated foxes basically. So, and what they noticed was a change in the facial features of the fox. The fox became more dog-like. It looked more like a regular dog, right?
These
And if you,
niggas is domesticated foxes. Oh my god.
so what
That's
happened
racist.
was that's why I made that video, domesticated faces. All those guys who are like talking about McQueens and this and that, they all have that face, man. That soft brow line, either some weird glasses. They have like a set of characteristics that denote that they are like pro gynocracy. It's
You
like
know
it's
what's so
literally
funny?
written on their face.
You know what's so funny? I remember and I got this from so many women over the years. Though I would just be like just sitting there, not doing anything in particular, and they'd be like, "You all right? What's the matter with you?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean? You look like you angry. You got a problem with something?" I'm like, "No, this is just my Monday face. Everything's fine." And now looking back on that, I'm like, "Yes, undomesticated. That's what
Uh,
that was."
honestly, it used to piss me off, man, when I just be like, just have my regular face, my resting face, if you will. And people be like, why are you so mad? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm having a great day.
Resting man face. That's all it is. They offended by my resting man face.
Mm, that explains something. Okay, I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with that. I like it.
So the domesticated fox thing It actually makes a lot of sense. This is what I really wanted to comment on, but I kind of my mind was stuck on the Fox thing. I wanted to hear that out. But what you're basically saying, it actually makes perfect sense if you think about it from another angle. Like think about it as like starting from the goal. If your goal is to be strong and independent and free and all that, right? Then it only makes even more sense that you would breed with or have a long-term mating partnership with men who are effectively domesticated, right? Which forgive my forgive me for shattering your real nigga assumptions, but this is why jail niggas do so well with hood bitches, because jail niggas come out the fucking institution domesticated.
Yep.
I mean, like the plumber dude, he got his comeuppance, right?
Yeah, the undomesticated Ninja Turtle. Yes, that nigga. And listen, somebody made this picture, bro, and that shit fucked up. But we gotta let it play. We are not here to pick sides and all these petty squabbles, man. Somebody threw that up there. This is what you get for not being a domesticated nigga, man. They be trying to tear your whole kingdom down, bro. That shit crazy.
I, I was talking. That's what I was kind of alluding to in the chat when Freeman's Journal was talking about fathers, and I was like, it's a 70-30 thing, right? Because black women choose their patriarch. They don't let them tell it. They don't even choose their baby daddy, but they choose their patriarch. So not only the jail nigga, but the the mentally challenged dude, the emotion, the not emotionally challenged, the socially challenged guy, um, they're all any woman that's God, dude. You have a strong dynamic, no matter how intelligent you think you are. And I think most black men are intelligent until you add a girl, then they get dumb. No matter how intelligent you think you are, chivalrous dudes, that you end up in a situation where she controls you. She controls the family. She controls the man, right? Separate him from his family. Um, allows people to be around her children. Won't let the biological father be around the child. She chooses the man that can be around the child, who can provide for the child but not discipline the child. No, can only teach the child until the child cries, then the lesson's over. It's a it's a state of mediocrity um by the quote unquote most educated because they're just not good at being people. But one of the greatest things I say all the time, and which is why I came up with slavery, by the way, is that low IQ people, low emotional intelligence, emotional IQ people project. They project all the time. So when you see jokes like if you ask a woman to describe their perfect man, they'll describe a slave. It's because they want to be slaves. And that's where I got it from. So bring slavery back and you will bring community back.
Hey, but
Let me.
look, I don't think it's like I think there's enough of it to be IQ, but I think majority of it's just straight up socialization. Because like case in point, right? And somebody pointed this out like several years ago, and it really clicked. But it's just like, man, even the short bus people, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, kids, like, like young adults, because, like they still could go to school up to a certain point until they started changing laws and stuff. Because, that it was just a way to kind of keep them in check, right? But
Right.
even they followed the rules and knew where the edges were. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Because guess what? There was still that threat of violence, even for the short bus people.
So, Hype, you had suggested a video from somebody who has me blocked personally on their account. So, Freeman's Journal was kind enough to pull a video up for us. Freeman, whenever you're ready.
Like to hear it, here it go.
They did the same thing when they took that discipline away from us, because when they made our parents afraid to discipline the children, then what happened? We found out that the teachers were afraid of the principals were scared of the superintendent was scared of the school board was scared of the parents were scared of the children, and the children ain't scared of nobody.
What's crazy about that sobering truth is they shouldn't be cheering like that.
I know, right?
It's the women, right?
That was like that scene from Star Wars when they elected their lifelong dictator. Like, bro, chill. I don't think you guys ready for this.
Uh,
Hold on.
real
I
quick,
want to get somebody. Get dirty first. We
real,
gotta
real,
get.
real quick, real quick. Yo, you know what, Drew Beast, man? Shout out to Drew Beast for a $5 super chat, bro. I mean, yeah. He said, look up the word community. Do we even have a community? We're more like gypsies that settled because there was no better place to go. I
Yeah, I
can't
did
pull it
have
up.
I did have your
Yeah,
super chat on screen for a minute.
yeah, we did, bro, and we discussed it, bro. I call them involuntary migrants. They just migrate from. Actually, I call them locusts, but only the women. I call the men migrants. There are places to go, but in order to go there, everything that black women and civil rights black men tell you, you have to do the opposite. You have to want to be police officers because that's who is the authority of the neighborhood. Men have to want to be teachers and teach the next generation and not let women control the children in the most formidable 10 years of their life. You have to want to buck the system of, at least in Chicago, they voluntarily, there's a reason, well, this is everywhere. There's a reason in every black community that your corner store and gas station is owned by Arabs. That is not by incident. There's people in the community with money. That's why they lead a community. Like I've been in the offices where you had to get the permits and watched what we call them aldermen. Y'all might call them something else. Watch them tell groups of black men with the money that they can't get the permit because it's already been sold to somebody not even of the community. You have to start from scratch. Ain't no more rebuilding. You got to build from scratch if you want the commune and unity that you're looking for. You won't have any allies except your brothers. Your girl ain't your mama, not your ally.
And be ready to fight. That
The
you have to
mama,
add that
Well,
caveat.
man,
the
you
mama
yeah, if you,
part is the black pill. That's the hardest pill to swallow. Yeah, even your mama is against you, kind of low key, sometime high key.
yeah, bro. That's the
Yo,
thing, bro. You got to if you make money and you can't protect it, you just stacking resources for the bigger bully. So yeah, you're right, and you
let
gotta,
me let me bring somebody else in the conversation. American man, I don't know if you've been over there on this channel before. Welcome to the show. Take the floor, bro. What do you got?
Peace, kings. Peace, kings. The black woman is God. Let us worship at the altar of the black vagina.
how
Once the word king came out your mouth, I'm like, I'm gonna hate you, I'm gonna love you, but we about to pull a trigger.
Nah. I'm messing with y'all. Uh, no, the black community can't save itself, and even if they could, they wouldn't do it, right? Because in saving yourself, at some point, that's going to mean you're going to have to stop grasping for the white man. And if there's one thing that most in the community is not ready to do, they're not ready to have self-agency and stop grasping for the white man, because to them the white man is the pinnacle. And so they
I
could
think we have
they
spoken before too.
what happened.
I think we have spoken before. Your voice sounds very familiar. I'm sorry to cut you off, though.
Yeah. This is Black Thoughts. I just changed my name.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was
There you go.
thinking. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking. I was like, it sound way too familiar.
yeah. All
Yeah,
right,
I
we
had to
got it.
get rid of black since
Oh, it's
I
too
can't associate
too many
myself.
negative connotations.
Yeah. It's like it gotta go.
I fuck with you, bro. Yeah, you got it.
But yeah, so yeah, man, there's no fixing it, and they won't want to fix it. To be honest, they won't let you. Right? Let let's look at King Randall. He's a perfect example. His biggest enemies have been black people that he's trying to help.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
so
We
so
saw
I mean,
video. We saw video of some of the people who broke into his community. You know, it was somebody's white girlfriend, but it was niggas. It was
yeah,
niggas and one of their
Yeah,
white girlfriends.
they will actively fight you and try to destroy you.
yeah, right.
Right? You
And
cannot do it.
then if you make any headway, right? Let's say that the community does mess with you. Then you got to come up against roly poly. That's going to tell you, no, you got to let white Democrats do it.
Well, that's crazy. Like, but that dude's still mad because he was supposed to be Hillary Clinton's like in the press pool or whatever. So he's a shill. I can't
No,
stand
I
that
get
dude.
that. So I get that. But what I'm saying is that all your obstacles are going to be there. right? And so once you get past the community, then you're going to have all your civil rights activists telling you, no, 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 white supremacy, white Democrats are going to do it. Don't worry about it. White supremacy, white Democrats are going to do it. And I want you guys to think about the insanity of that. They yell white supremacy, but also tell you white Democrats will fix your problems. That is amazing.
Oh, since you mentioned Roland, he had a picture rolling around the internet or whatever where he's wearing a T-shirt that said "Vote like a black woman." And I had a friend
That's crazy.
I,
Yeah.
I had a couple of
Yes.
friends, right, that weren't black, right, and I just wanted to see what they were going to say. And I was like, "Hey, check this out." One of them was a white woman, and she immediately said, "Oh, like what's the Shamika chick from you know
Shamika
what I'm saying?
Michelle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shamika Michelle." He said, "Well, what about Shamika Michelle? Does it mean like her?" And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean like her."
no,
Nah, she's not the type of black woman that they want you to vote like.
no. I actually posted that on my Facebook. And said some things about these people don't like Christian males and all of that. I mean, just something to that effect. But yeah, that
I
shirt
want
was gay. Roland
to.
Martin is good.
Freeman, you said you had a video you want to queue up, and then SKC suggested this video right here for the panel. And I haven't really heard much from Courtney Michelle lately. Maybe she's just not in my algorithm anymore, but this is refreshing. I haven't seen her struggling for Black love in a while.
Who taught you to hate yourself? I have never been around or heard so many content creators, big platforms spill hatred among ourselves. Who taught you that?
Right off the bat, right? Who taught you to hate yourself? And I know what she's speaking in reference to. This is like, black men, the black manosphere and all that stuff. And basically she's identifying the men with the women, which I think is just it's improper framing inherently. Like, I can't see you and me, right? It's difficult for even in my own children. Like, I can see myself in my son way more than I can see myself in my daughters. Like, and I see myself in my daughters because they fucking look just like me, right? But I know what my son is feeling. You understand? And that's a whole different kind of relation. And I don't think it really works to like try to set up this framework where like the men can truly identify with the women, or vice versa, because the women are never tasked with seeing themselves in the men. If the women saw themselves in the men, we would not be having any of these social dysfunctional maladies that we suffer right now. And because the women don't see themselves in the men. And what do I mean by that specifically? If the women had the same sense of morality that Dirty Folks and I offended over on Izzy's channel, making jokes about DV and all that. If women had, I know, but I mean, it started out as a joke,
It
and then they
started off
made
as a
niggas
joke.
defend
Yeah.
their point. Like, nah, I'm a joke about some shit I believe in, but that's how it started. But if women held themselves to a sense of honor in that same fashion, we would not be in this place of social dysfunction. But we are in this place primarily because two reasons. One, women have the freedom to choose. And then within the choices women make, they do not even enforce among themselves identifying with the men in their group, right? And so I respect that. I'm not even saying they have to. Bitch, I take you as you are. Now that I see you for what you are, this is the way it's got to be.
Well,
I don't.
even the
Yeah.
Afro chick that put the wig back on, you can take her as she is.
Like I said, I take you as you are. I mean, I don't take every single woman. I'm speaking in the broad sense. Like, I accept women for what they are, but understanding what women are, now we have to address the way it got to be.
But
That's the caveat.
I got you. I was just making like a little joke, but
I
it's just
uh,
like, yo, like they are so ridiculous, like over the top. You got to try your hardest to be like this, and then to act like you can't see why certain people are acting a certain way towards you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you can gaslight yourself enough to some of the points.
They're not gaslighting themselves.
Yeah, they're not.
They are
Women
just
lie to
dumb.
themselves. Yeah, thank you. Women lie to themselves, then believe the lie, then tell the lie to others. Nothing that women says inherently makes sense. They contradict themselves in the same. Her cute girl, she should never talk. She should be nude. She should never talk. When she starts off saying, "What makes you hate yourself?" I love me. I hate you. So intrinsically from the start, you made me part of you, but you don't fuck with me when you're in human resources. You know what I mean? You don't fuck with me when I'm arguing with a baby mama or a girlfriend. You don't fuck with me. But you said, why do I hate myself? No, I hate you.
And
No,
not
but
only
but
that, not only that, I don't even think the hatred came about because of how I am or something. It's not like I just want to hate you. I realize that not only do you not fuck with me, but you hate me.
You hate me. And it's
That's
only
the
intelligent to
thing.
hate those who hate you.
There
That's
you go.
You hate me. Now you want me to love my oppressor. That's slavery, ma'am. You hate me, so I say I hate you back. Like the plumber dude on the show. I wouldn't date you. I wouldn't date you either. You reject me, so I said, okay, I take your reject. And I say, okay, cool. But that's my ball though. Give me my ball. I'm going home. Oh my
Right.
God, he took the ball.
You don't like the way I dribble the ball home now. Now that's the problem.
yeah, you supposed to just take it, man. Like
Right.
no matter what comes your way, you're supposed to take. And yeah, you can say, okay, maybe in certain circumstances, like people don't maintain frame. But man, people, you don't know what people have gone through, man. To just be going at them like just all out of the blue. I had, I had an interesting conversation on Juneteenth, no doubt. So I'm on, social audio app, just talking to some random people, a bunch of different people, and a particular black woman pops in, and then she gets mad, tries to self center like the room around her, and I'm like, yo, like no. This conversation is still going because other people are interested in it. Just because you want to be off the topic doesn't mean that we're going to be off the topic. Now I'm gonna continue talking, and then I would advise you to, stop. And she really didn't like that too much. And so we go back and forth, and then she's like, STF, uh, shut the, all this stuff. And I was like, make me. And she's like, I can't. This is the internet. And I said, well, I advise you shut the F up then. And then she started threatening me with physical violence. And I'm like, here we go. You just it's crazy the interactions you would have with just random people, man. And then they say the internet's not a real thing, but then she shared some of her thoughts. And this is a woman that's going to try to continue to be a professional, go to a professional career, office type, respectable kind of thing. But she's threatening people on the internet with physical violence.
There's no real class separation among the Keishas. Let me make a couple of station
That is
announcements.
absolutely true.
Let me make some station announcements. Shout out to Poseidon MGTOW with the $5 cash app.
And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white.
Shout out to my man with the cash app. Thanks for coming through. My man, hold on, who was that? My man Marshall with the whole 10 ball. Shout out to Marshall with the $10. Yo, the cash app address is scrolling at the bottom. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the customary things. And then you know what else, man. Smash the cash app button for me, y'all.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry! You not like Hulk angry! Hulk no like fighting girls.
And then we got to round it off with Marco Grande and the $5 Cash App for Holes Mad. Holes Mad. Yes, you heard it with an L. Capital L. Holes Mad, y'all.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me because I didn't get a single apology.
Time is expired.
My life was threatened. Thank you.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
Yo, it's funny. Jamal Bowman
I've
was on this
said
high
so
horse.
many times, and I stand by it, that I cannot love being Black without loving Black men. I cannot love being Black without loving Black women. I cannot, because I am you. You look like me. You talk like me. You walk like me. You got the little swag like me. I am you.
Now, I appreciate you saying this after your traditional epiphany phase, but this is what you expect from the epiphany phase. It really means nothing if you understand that this is an epiphany phase moment, right? Well, an epiphany phase statement. This type of shit bitches say once they realize they've been fucking around for too long and now it's too late to cash in their chips, right? And so, being an epiphany phase statement, you have to understand this is the same woman who put out a video where she actually included her baby daddy in the video, which was big of her. It was actually a strong woman moment, right? And I mean that with no insincerity. There was a very strong woman moment. She brought her baby daddy in the video to address the fact that he had done nothing wrong, and she broke up their family because she just fucking felt like it. You didn't identify with him when you broke up your family. That was the only self identification with a black man that's actually required. If you love all of us and you couldn't love him, you don't love nothing, bitch. I want to hear none of that shit. Bitches be lying on the gram, bro. These bitches be getting up here lying for fucking cent points and shit. Cause they know some of you niggas gonna believe these motherfucking
These angry, mad, opportunistic, lying black women.
Hey, look. Anybody that uses like love for like, biscuits and grapes and flowers and butterflies and damn near everything under the sun, I don't trust them anyway.
Facts.
listen, man, if you love us all, you don't love none of us. Cause you were never tasked with loving all black men. And your proclamations for loving us all mean nothing to me. I'm not that type of romantic, all right? I don't that shit don't register for me. You only have to love one. And if you can't do that right, how am I supposed to if you can't love one right, how can you love us all right?
Man, you know what? Hood. From now on, man, like because of that one show you got, if somebody says, "Oh, I love you," I'm like, "What is love?" I'm just gonna hit him with the question, man.
Baby, don't hurt me. That
And he had them entanglement eyes, man. God,
and you know what's so bad about that? Women don't have the ability or capacity to love. So her loving anything is arbitrary. It's like they love tacos. Like, okay, cool. I love
Well,
tacos too.
that's kind of some of the subtext of why I play this clip, right? Because accepting that you can't love me, but I do love you, what I expect is baby don't hurt me. All right? That's how low the fucking bar is. You gotta understand where we are with this type of shit, right? I love you and I know you're really incapable of loving me the way I love you, right? And so because I accept that to be true and I love you nonetheless, because we're goofy and we're wired to love these goofy bitches, all I really expect is baby don't hurt me. And you bitches can't even get that right. You bitches can't even don't you can't get the don't hurt me part right, which is that's how I know you really hate me because y'all go out of y'all way to hurt niggas, and
Well,
that's where the shit be fucked up at.
I shared, I tagged you and I tagged Hood and Freeman's in a video clip that I seen. It was like from Cincinnati, where a guy was trying to break up a fight between like black women and a white man or whatever, and the chick I think bit him, and then he like just went crazy, right? And I think that's like analogous to like this particular situation. So it's like you can try all you want to like try to save these people from themselves, but then they're gonna hurt you
Uh,
because they know no better. It's like the parable of the scorpion and the frog, right? You knew my nature before like
I agree with that. I agree with that. That's crazy. You know what? You know what's so crazy about that? I used the scorpion and frog parable on my dad yesterday. That's crazy. But it was like, yo, you would destroy your legacy and your lineage to make a girl smile that hates you. Like, yo, bro, you are the frog and they're the scorpion. I just told my dad that yesterday, bro. That's crazy.
See, the frog must kind of love the scorpion, huh?
Yeah, the frog love
In
the
order for
scorpion.
me to
Yeah.
love myself, I have to love you. I can critique, but I critique out of love because I want us to be better. I can't separate myself from you. And if you love being black as
See, this is, I know I'm being petty, but I know I saw that video where you explained how you just ruined your whole family unit for nothing. And all of this shit ring hollow, bro. Like, come on, man. You only gotta love one of us, man. That shit just so much bullshit. But all right, I'm over it. I'm over it.
Wait. This
black
is my
men, you
thing.
can't.
well,
But here's my question: is she taking this video from her daughter's room or from her room, and she just adorns it like a toddler?
I think it's the second. Yeah, it's a grown up because women. What's the thing? Neoteny. Women like to appeal to the youthfulness. So yeah, it's supposed to look young and youthful back there.
Forever toddler. I'm with it. I
Yeah.
just didn't know.
Forever thought.
Separate
when
yourself from me. There's no divesting from me. There's no
Shit.
divesting from a black man when you love yourself because I am you.
I can't believe this is coming from a single mom talking about there's no divesting from me. There's no divesting from me.
You know what's so
You are
crazy?
me.
If she were a man, she would be Missa. Gone. You're ugly. You're black. You're stupid. You'll be back. Don't nobody want you. Like this is a Missa speech.
God damn.
We belong together in this community. However, if you don't like who you are, then you can easily say that this community needs to burn. You want to burn your community?
no
You want to
no
leave?
oh
Yes,
no no
because you live here. You run this shit. The
no
fuck you questioning me for?
no hood. See, this is where people get it messed up, right? It's like no. You said let it burn. Not I started the fire. We didn't start the fire.
Yeah, context matters.
Right?
I take no
Arsonist with a
ownership.
handful of matches and gasoline talking about, don't tell me you're going to put it out.
Right.
Don't tell me you're going to put it out.
Your
Oh,
bitch
my
ass
goodness.
afraid of a little fire, huh? You scared of some fire, you punk ass nigga, you.
Listen,
Hey,
man, how are all the singletons the people that are going to save the community?
nah, man. Like this is wild, man. Like so. Hey, I hate to go to Chicago, right? But hey, dirty, my bad, man.
Hey, I
Already.
ain't even tripping, man. It would be the first time Makisha burned me, bro. Go
So,
ahead.
so I remember back in the day, right? This is analogous for the whole thing. So it wasn't even a black woman, right? It was a Hispanic chick from Chicago. She used to like get these different dudes in the beefs with each other because they liked her or whatever, right? And then one time she got like this gangster dude like into it with this dude. It was like ultra macho, used to work out. You know what I'm saying? He was a military dude, but the gangster dude was like civilian. Okay. Fast forward, we're in a situation, right? We're at a nightclub. And then apparently she goes, hugs one of the dudes, and then goes like and like kind of greets the other guy. The two dudes meet, eyeballs in the middle, and they go outside, and one of the dudes gets shot. And then she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened." I'm like, "You're the reason why it happened, man. You know how to, it's like it's been at least 5 instances because of you, and now
Oh,
you sitting here talking about why did this happen? This shouldn't have happened. Nobody's supposed to shoot anybody."
yeah, well, just running around lighting matches.
Mm.
Hey, Hood. All right, you want to show this video here? Actually, no. Finish Courtney Michelle. Actually, no. Finish Courtney Michelle.
That's Courtney Michelle. That's
Yeah.
great. Goofy bitch.
Wait, did Hood step away? You get a phone call or something?
Oh no. He heard Chicago. He had to part out for a little bit.
He didn't want these problems. He was like, I ain't in it.
Oh, man, but yeah, man, that's crazy. You can't divest from this.
What
Is
do you
Stab
owe the community?
2.0.
What do you owe?
What do you
Our
own?
ancestors gave their life.
Oh, not own. Okay.
And you mean to tell me that for our ancestors that died for us to even be able to speak publicly like this, that you are willing to burn your community because you having problems with women?
Man, shout out to Batman.
Is that what leaders
Yo,
do?
yo, can you pause it real quick for me?
Run in the face of adversity? Or do they stand up and say, I'm going to fight?
Yo, Hood, can you pause it real quick? Yo, all this is, right? All this is,
speech is crazy.
yo, all this is her basically saying there's no way that you guys are going to run from the torture that we're going to continue to bestow upon you. That's all I hear. All these words that she's saying, all I hear is you cannot run from the torture that we bestow upon you because we have the same skin color. And you hate your mother if you do. That's all I hear. I don't hear anything else. You guys hear more than that?
Man,
And I'm really curious and I'm
I hear
wondering.
fear. I hear
I'm-
fear, man.
I hear so many different things, man, that are like correlates, but it's like movie lines and like quotes and all kinds of stuff that's like, yo, danger, close, danger, Will Robinson. And it's like, shout out to Batman, man. I am not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Yeah, straight up,
Yeah,
man.
that,
It's
that was
fear.
that Joker line at the end. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it's fear. Look, they see the NBA draft, bro. They see the NBA draft, and they see it in real life, right? I see it. I see it everywhere. I mean, I go across the country, and I go on road trips and all this. You can see it everywhere, right?
Yeah. Go someplace like Arizona, man, like Flagstaff or something like that. I'm like, man, go to college campuses and all the athletes, right? All of them.
You know what's crazy, bro? And I'm a freeway bro. I don't know who I took that from, but I'm a freeway bro. And I've only seen black men date black women in large metropolitan cities. When I'm in Iowa or South Dakota or um even Fort Worth, I didn't see black men with black women. And in Dallas I did, but Fort Worth, not so much. Like they don't outside of like the New York, Chicago's, Phillies.
You know,
I mean, yeah, when you're outside the South, no doubt.
like it. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I don't have one. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, it's not even on a dating tip, right? I was talking to a particular black woman, like, not too long ago, and I made, I guess a statement that I didn't even think about really. I said, yeah, the dude just happens to be black, and he's like the top of the market, if you will, in this particular industry. And then she's like, what do you mean by that? I mean, he doesn't lead with his race, but he happens to be black. And then she took all kinds of offense to that. Like he's supposed to like lead with his race. I'm like, it's undeniable. I mean, like he's a pretty dark guy. It's not like you're gonna be like, oh well, he got he fair skinned or something like that. Like or he could say he's this or that. And I just found that odd, man. I'm just like, I say, yo, man, y'all are too consumed with race. Like this guy wanted to be the tip top of the market that he was in, and he became that, and everybody respects him.
There's a price point, right? That you're no longer black and you just become American. And Spike Lee talked about it 30 years ago, and he's right. Right? Remember the the scene in the pizzeria on Do the Right Thing when he was like, "I hate moolies, I hate Negroes," and he was like, "Yo, you ain't got none but black people on your wall, Sal." He was like, "Yo, they not black though. They are black, but they not black. I mean, they're American." Like there is a point that when you decide to be a man above a crayon, that you'll be accepted as a man above the crayon. You have to mention your aversion to different groups for you not to be seen as a man by other groups. As a majority, that's always going to be racist and bigots, but as a majority, right? Like there is no culture in the world that necessarily dislikes black men for being black. Asia's real close, but generally speaking, no race in the world, no place in the world. People don't like black women. And
we are.
Am I lying?
I am
You're
worth
not.
fighting
You're not,
for.
dude.
My legacy is worth fighting for. Every single movement.
You hear that? Wait,
we've
pause
had.
that. You hear that?
She said
This is
my.
why people don't
She
like black
said.
women.
She said
She said
my.
my legacy. Rewind that.
Man,
Oh, bro, you got to play my old clip.
man.
From the
That's a Freudian
grassroots
slip.
up to huge organizations such as the Black Panther Party has always been infiltrated. As the Black Panther
women.
grassroots up to the movement that we've had. From the grassroots up to huge organizations such as the Black Panther Party has always been infiltrated. And who was the who infiltrated? Because I am worth fighting for. My legacy is worth fighting for, to fight. Because I am worth fighting for. My legacy is worth fighting for.
Yeah, man. Like you might have to be done with this clip, man. That you might have to walk off home run on that one.
Woo! I already downloaded it. Hey, the freaking I put another clip in the back. It's Courtney Michelle again. If you want to play that again, because it dovetails directly into that comment.
Hold on, we're gonna play this one out and then move on to that one. But that legacy thing, yeah, I'm actually like multitasking in the back right now, so forgive me. Y'all were right. I was tied up doing other shit,
So
but
you trying to be a strong, independent black woman, multitasking and shit. Not
yeah,
doing
but I'm a man. I can actually do it effectively, though.
Every single movement that we've had.
Hey,
from the grassroots up to huge organizations such as the
Sir Tice was asking for the link.
All right, I got you. 1 second.
Black Panther Party has always been infiltrated. And who was who infiltrated us?
Us
We
as in
did
black
the
women.
most damage to our organizations that were pro-black, that wanted better.
I was just about to
We
say that,
infiltrated
Dirty.
it.
Black women.
Black
That's us.
women. That's the us.
I've seen the enemy, and the enemy is she. I'm gonna correct my previous quote. I've seen the enemy, and the enemy is she. It's not we, it's she. We ain't together. It's that bitch.
You know who took down the Black Panthers, right? A communist chick with a master's degree, a doctorate degree that taught at Southern Cal.
Don't she still teach? Is she still active now? Like Elaine Brown is her name, I think.
No, I ain't even talking about Elaine Brown. I'm talking about Angie. Angela.
Oh, Davis, yeah.
Yeah, Angela Davis. Oh, Peace Pick, Fight the Power Fist. She took him down.
Oh, you talking about Angela Davis that had family members from white slave ship?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that was a great clip, man. That was a great clip.
You know, shout out to all these bitches with colonizer blood. You know,
right?
Y'all just doing what y'all
colonizer
was born to do.
Imagine that, bro. Imagine a goofy bitch telling you need to be a communist. Everybody needs to have the same thing, live the same way. All black men need to take care of the black women in some type of African village theme, and then you're crying because they fired you from no, it was USC Berkeley. Was it anyway, one of them colleges. They fired you from your job, and now you want your tenure back. I thought you wanted to be a communist, bitch. Like,
Right.
I hate these hoes so much, bro.
Communism is only fun if you have a guaranteed income. Anyway,
Something I think it was called margin call when they knew the company was going to go under, right? And knew all the people that actually had to sell this screwed up product, right? He said, "How are you going to get them to do it?" He said, "Okay, first thing you come in and you tell them the truth because they'll find out anyway. You got to throw them a bone and a big one. Okay, what are you offering to get these guys back on the farm? Because for the last 50, 60 years, they've been undermined. They've seen their grandfathers, their fathers, their uncles, and people in front of them get mowed down by this. What are you going to offer them? How are you going to convince them?
Very good point. I like
what bone are you going to throw at these Z's to say, okay, black women are actually worth fighting for? What kind of bone are you going to throw them?
There is no bone.
Can't say just because of the culture.
Do it for the gram.
You don't think that's good enough?
For the gram.
Do you?
Say again?
Do you think it's enough?
Do I think fighting for the culture to save it?
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that's enough?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am the culture.
Yes,
Save
you are. Yes,
you are. There you go. There you got it. Sir Ty, if you asked for the link, I'm gonna pass it to you directly. I'm gonna step away for a minute. You gentlemen got it. We're gonna pick this back up in a second. But Courtney Michelle, she am the culture, Sir Tice. She am the culture. You got it, Sir Tice.
She is the
like
culture.
I said in the chat. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, salute to you gents, what have you. Like I said in the chat, nominees for Best Actress in a Stage Play. Man, this chick just reeks of being full of it, man. You know, I thought she was done with the manosphere, so I heard, right? But yet she's fighting, now she's on this KRS-One, I am the culture. I was going to say a word, but I don't want to curse right now, man. And the sad part is to this day, shout out Deontay Wilder, to this day, you got people that buy into this nonsensical logic that she's spewing. I could do the same thing that they do. Where are your solutions? You know, that they ask us for, right? You know, that they wouldn't listen to when we tell them what the solutions are. Man, this is all performative. Go ahead.
Well, you know, it's funny. I think SKC had the clip where Courtney was on the white comedian chick that does stuff with Nerdrotic or whatever in them, the Friday Night Tykes. I can't remember her name. She just had a baby or whatever. But man, she was acting quite different. Might I say code switching at one point in time?
True. Is that true hype?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. She got into her soft girl era, you know, mode.
She sounded different. She sounded way different than she does on these panels.
Mm-hmm. She got smoothed out, lowered that voice, used her inside voice. I'm in
all
front
I
of the
needed
white
to
people now.
That's all I needed to know, man. I've always thought she was an undercover ratchet anyway, and I'm being real. No matter how the nice voice she tries to put on or whatever, it just sounds too pretentious. So you telling me this confirms a lot of things I had about her.
No, but I mean, look at
aren't 90% of them undercover ratchets? If we're being real,
I think 90 is low, bro.
Was that Black Thought? Was that Black Thought?
yeah.
I think 90% is low, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yo, but look at her when she was on Lapeef, when Anton was on there, and they brought up Amira, and and Coach K was on there, and then a couple other. She didn't never really go at Coach K, but Amira and Pearl, they did not like that at all.
Facts.
Man, you just saw them fuming, man.
The vitriol, especially that one dark skinned chick that was super ratchet, that tried to act like she was high end.
I need to look in these archives. I never watched that shit. But
it was not Kay, but Kayla.
Kayla. Yo, did you see her without You know what? I'm not even gonna go down that
Oh no,
road.
she was she was on
No.
she was
Go
on the
there, and I'm
show.
gonna tell you to go. I'm gonna tell you to go there because I saw that one tall chick or what have you. The one tall stripper chick. I can't think of her name right now.
Six the goddess. Six the
Thank
goddess.
you. I saw that chick without makeup or without her K-cup, and it's like two different people. So
I could believe it. I mean, most of these girls. Here's the thing: most of these girls look like they daddy. That's why men claim them, right? So without makeup, they all look like men.
Yo, I remember that same episode, right? Anton was trying not to mention it or whatever, and then she made mention she had something playing in the background as an advertisement for like
Her own thing.
some feminine product. And then Anton had to explain how targeted marketing works and how that ad didn't go out to everybody else on the panel. It went to her. And they was like laughing because she was like trying to be defensive or whatever, and then but she's the one that went up there without no makeup.
Mm, mm.
this goes back to what I said about performative. I've come to realize, especially people like Courtney Michelle, that they don't care about no solutions. I don't know what she's selling or anything like that, but this was all performance, to attract people to them, get attention there that they don't get in real life, man. I don't buy it one bit, man. And
Okay.
just a brief question. If you're banned from somebody's channel, that means you can't even view it? I thought it was you can't get in their chat session.
No, that's banned from the chat. If you ban from the channel, you can't. They can't see you. Period. But I would disagree with you on this one, Sir Tice. I believe they do want the solution. They don't want to enact the solution. They are the mole that wants to give the establishment your solution. They
To
want to
subvert
prevent
it.
you. Right. They are the op.
Hey, dirty, expound upon that.
Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. And this is where my hate black women started. It had nothing to do with sexual with me. The solution to black boys having a 49% dropout rate and a 79% illiteracy rate when they graduate in Chicago. Solution. I went to Chicago Teachers Union and they have something called SCORE, which is like the rival to the teachers union, but they're also teachers, so it's a bunch of girls. And everybody wanted my intellectual property, but not me. And then they want to take credit for it and then include girls, which totally defeats the purpose of the program that I had designed. I'm like, fuck you. We went with housing because I was cracking jokes with my boy one day. He was like, yo, wouldn't it be cool if men get Section 8 too? And we were laughing about it. Then I thought about it. I said, yo, that's possible. And I wrote up the outline for the head agency. And then around that same time, I started looking at the LGBT crowd get their transgender housing. I said, I know you can get it because it's a HUD program. You just have to have a special group. And who's more special than Tony and swarthy men? And when I went to the HUD office in Chicago, this is why I go Fed now. I don't even deal with state no more. I go straight Fed. When I went to the Chicago Housing Agency to ask them for the parameters to make sure we could do it, she's like, man, we ain't helping you fund no programs that don't include women. If women can't be on the lease of the deed, men can't have shit. This is the problem with black women running your municipality, right? Everything they want to hear, like, are you trying to be free, nigga? And then they try to destroy you. And then they double back and say, we need you anytime they think you're about to sneak off the plantation. I keep telling people that the house niggas were women.
As soon as they get mad at you, then they say, oh, you're conquered and you can't do this and that.
Hey, real quick, shout out Tiffany Henyard.
Shout out to Tiffany Henyard, man. Shout out to her. Straight Dino Brown. There's the house niggas were women. They always tell you about the house nigga. Men didn't live in the house. If you were oppressing people, would you let men be in your crib when you sleep?
Good point.
All the house niggas were women. All the snitches were women. There's something about black culture that 90% of the things y'all blame white supremacy on are really black women, but y'all skip over women and go straight. I was just on a panel about a panel about the what's the name dude, the plumber dude that went on the dating show, right? 500 calls to his job by black women to get him fired. Men are on the panel talking about he should sue the job. The job should know better. There should be some type of legal action against the job for firing him. I said, hold on. It's 500 bitches' fault. If I'm an employer and if I go to Walmart, if I run Walmart and 500 people tell me that cashier on aisle 8 is a bullshit cashier, she got to get up out of here. So if 500 people say they don't want him to work there, or they're gonna damage the job, they're gonna give you a 1-star Yelp review that takes away from your future earnings, I get rid of him too.
Yeah,
It's not
it's easier. It's easier to get rid of the one than the 500 complaints.
right. And I've been there. I've seen how quickly women and gays mobilize to try to destroy you because their feelings are hurt. Right. And that was just on a small level. So, bro, you're looking at the inability of black men to choke a bitch. I'm all for running. Go ahead, run, get your passport, get a white girl, whatever the case. But at some point, I'm like Gandalf, thou shalt not pass. You gotta slay the dragon eventually, bro.
Well, part of it is like the fact that they don't think you're dangerous. Hell, as a matter of fact, I was listening to a little piece of Mr. Palmer the other day, and this dude actually, like, I guess he finally snapped after being married with this chick.
Oh, 60-year birthday. I saw that. I saw a piece of that.
60-year-old birthday or whatever.
Yeah, I saw.
He pulls the joint on her, man, and then she tells her daughter, "Don't worry, it ain't real." And he says, "See, there you go," and then ended it all, man. And I was like, wow, man. They don't even understand the danger.
Real quick, I just wanted to step back in for a moment. I heard some dragon slander, and as a dragon fan myself, I'll tolerate no such dragon slander. The word you were looking for, sir, dirty folks, is a balrog. These bitches are balrogs, all right? Dragons are graceful, wise, magical creatures.
You're right. Shout out to Puff. Shout out to Puff. Where we at? Puff the Magic Dragon, not Puff the Diddler. Shout out to Puff the Magic Dragon.
Facts, all right? These women ain't got nothing to do with dragons. Dragons can help you every now and then.
You called them Balrogs. That's wild.
That's who we was talking to. You saw about Gandalf and you shall not pass. That wasn't a dragon.
You're right. That was a Balrog. You're absolutely right.
That was a big black woman caricature. But anyway, y'all got it.
I just noticed Balrog was also the character in Street Fighter, man.
Damn, different Balrog. Same name though.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody was playing this video. Why were y'all playing it? Or let it play?
There is no bone, by the way. There is no bone.
Yeah, we don't control the video.
And that is saving me and my legacy and my children.
And you're the ones that telling him he ain't shit. You're telling one that he's got to jump over this wall to qualify you. And if you're not making this, that, or the other, or you don't have swags and tats and 8 inches hanging, that you don't qualify, that's what he's hearing. You got to jump all these hurdles. But Maria, Becky, Maysulin says you're a man, and I like you.
Do you guys think black women know what they're doing to black men?
Absolutely.
I don't.
100%.
So.
And that's why I didn't want to give credence to what We Need to Talk was saying in that last point. And BGS did challenge it because, how do you separate the whip from the whipper? And that's.
Well, here's something funny to what Dirty was saying, right? Is that these people don't even realize that it's the black woman that is their problem. And why do you think, right? Why do you think it's always the black woman telling you, look at white supremacy, right? When you go to most of these places and you hear most of it, it's mostly black women screaming white supremacy. Bill Maher said it the other day. Of all people, Bill Maher said it. He was like, oh, when you go on TikTok and listen to these people, and he said, yeah, and it's mostly black women. Literally, they're the ones whipping you. Huh?
Or their male orbiters that repeat their talking points. Continue.
No, but here's the thing. I'm talking like so in correlation with black men, right? In my journeys, most of the so-called white supremacy that has been in my way has been black women. Whether it's at the DMV, look, I tell you, I went to court for a ticket one time, right? And the judge threw the ticket out. Was a white woman judge, and the chick next to her was a black chick, and you should have saw the black chick's face. Now I'm thinking this is a traffic violation. Why are you so disgusted as if I should have gotten lynched? And this is a black woman. And all I'm thinking is, for some odd reason, it always comes down to the black woman being the one there doing the harming and then telling you, but no, it's white supremacy. And like Dirty said, sometimes, listen, man, black men got to stop being afraid to choke a bitch. That's what it's going to come down to.
I would like to be one of the brand ambassadors of the Choka Bitch tribe. True story. Me and Mr. Palmer, because I'm supposed to be starting this penny pitching league. I'm so behind schedule, but every professional sports league needs a cause, right? And I talked to Palmer and I was like, yo, I want you to be the cause, bro. I was like, man, the single mom thing. I said, but I want the cause to be male domestic violence. Like we get beat up a lot. Like, and I want to have a thing. It's like, yo, don't cross the line. Like, don't hit me, don't steal my kids, don't cross the line. And I was like, yo, would you mind being part of that? Because there are no male groups, by the way. Because he was not the first person I thought of. I thought there was already a group established for male domestic violence. There are no retreats or homes that straight men can go to if he getting beat up by his girl. You know what I mean? There are no organizations for men. There are groups, but there's no organization for men who are going through parental alienation. Like men really don't give a fuck about men until men give a fuck about men. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are supported, but nobody has been the face of it that will take those rocks. Like I don't care what you say. If you throw a rock at me, you just prove you violent, bitch. Like
All right,
nobody.
hold on, Dirty. Let me give some pushback on this one. I don't believe this. I'm just giving some pushback because we kind of in an echo chamber here. What percentage of men, black men, let me say it that way, what percentage of black men would you say lead behind a woman, vote like a black woman, shout out Roland Martin, what percentage of men, I don't want to call them simps, but you get what I'm saying. What percentage do you think fit that description?
75 to 80%.
Okay, damn. Here, I'm
I'm
trying to
just
give you
going off
pushback,
of
and I agree with
how
you.
many black men vote Democrat, right? I mean, you just
Forget that for a second.
okay.
Most dudes look for female validation. Would we agree? And especially black dudes.
Okay, I agree, but I don't think that's the truth in voting. But I agree. I think
No,
with the
I'm not
voting
talking about
thing
the
is the
voting
brain.
part. I'm not
Oh,
talking about the
okay.
voting part. And I know you're
All right.
going extreme on this. I guess what I'm saying is these dudes are too Okay, let me say something that's more applicable to this YouTube life. How
Okay.
many dudes, without saying names, have you seen on these panels talking this very shit we talking, but then they go on a female panel and they all, their tail is tucked and shit like that. Their voice changes. Don't tell me I'm the only one that sees this, right?
I'll go higher than that. Sir Tice, you've been my Facebook friend way longer than I've been on YouTube, so you know everything I say. I've been like this.
No, he's been consistent. Everyone, continue.
There are men who I don't even know who would look at my stance and inbox me and have whole conversations. I should have charged them for consultation.
You spitting
And
that real, man. Man, keep talking that shit. Hell yeah.
no, I this is the time I remember the most. A lot of people did it, but this is the one time that stuck with me. I ended up on a first of all, I was in this group called Black Fathers, which is crazy. It's like 10,000 of them, but 9,000, like 90. It's 100,000 black men in the Black Fathers group. 90,000 out that 100,000 are really just stepdads. It's crazy. But anyway,
I gotta interrupt you. let me tell you how whack that group is. Y'all remember when Tyreek Hill was on the Kansas City Chiefs? True Hype, you a sports guy, you might remember this especially. He got into some situation with his kid. Well, he's got many kids, but you know what I'm talking about? It was
Yeah, it was
something about
he got a domestic.
Okay, and I said, and these dudes in that very same Black Fathers group, because I had to leave that shit, were like, man, how he gonna do this? How he gonna do this? And I'm like, you bitch ass, you know what I said. You BANs love coming on here moaning and all this, and y'all ain't even giving this guy due process.
Yeah,
yet.
but
And we
nice.
go ahead.
You ain't got to go that far back. Look at Hood's interaction over that not Myron, but what's the other dude from Fresh Fit?
You're talking about Fresh.
Yeah, the
Or
Fresh CEO guy. Yeah, like with the Chinese spy or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like man, all the dudes. I mean, all the dudes automatically went to the girl side, man. I'm like, yo, what is going on, man? Like, the presumption is always like innocence until proven guilty, man. That like, there's a reason for that. I'm not gonna kill a man in a court of public opinion because I got uncles, I got friends, I got people that went through real stuff where it was fake charges.
Yeah, I've been faked out a lot. But here's my thing. Back to the black fathers thing. This is what I was going with.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said something to them fuckers. One guy inboxed me. I ended up having a inbox chat with this dude for almost an hour. Like he told me his whole situation on how he married this girl. She was a nothing. He had money. He paid for her to go to college. He taking care of her kids. He wanted kids. She talking about we got kids already. Nigga, we? He's childless on his own, no biological kids. But he in that black father group. Anyway, I digress. And
shout out to Shaka Nulu. Yeah. He is stupid for putting himself in that spot. But I'm just saying, like, everybody believed her everything that she said over him. I was like, I think that's just dumb.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, one, you shouldn't be moving like that anyway.
Everything man fault. So no matter what the situation, you say it's man fault because girls can't be blamed. You got to blame white supremacy when a girl does it. But anyway, as the story progresses.
No. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
No, I know what you know. It was his fault, but I'm saying only men can be held accountable. When it's women, you just blame white supremacy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no, back to that. So almost an hour of me chatting back with him, blah, blah, blah. At the end, like it's the same thread though, but I could tell that, the text type, the type of, the text different. It was like, next time you decide to talk about me, you should close your Chromebook first or whatever. So basically his wife has been reading him talking about his marriage.
Oh my God, this is hilarious. Okay.
So he's on his phone, but she's on his Chromebook reading it the whole, she having a whole good old time reading it. And then he was like, oh, I gotta go. And all of a sudden that man was no longer, because I went back like a couple of days later to that same stream so I could tag him like, you all right? But he was no longer in that group. Like now he is no longer allowed to talk to men on the outside. He is, yeah.
So your point is that these dudes are more, pussified. It's 75% or 75 to 80%, right?
Right. These men need a man.
I would and the reason I was saying that is dude, you're talking what you're talking, and I know it's one part exaggeration. Actually, you're like, no, I'm being dead serious. But no, these dudes can't even step up. I remember hearing literally Obsidian saying something about how there are dudes that would have to listen to his show in their driveway or in their garage. And I thought he was exaggerating, man. And I've come to find out, no, that's very true for a lot of these dudes, man.
It's
so I guess what I'm saying is that if these dudes can't even listen, go ahead.
Now, real quick, I just want to give you a little pushback, Sir Tice.
Go ahead.
No. Let me just give you a little pushback, Sir Tice. You labeled them men; these are males, and I think we have to start differentiating men and males.
Give me the not is it Korea or South Korea? Give me the whiplashes. You're right. My bad. Okay, go.
Well, let me kind of jump in and let me go back to the earlier Courtney Michelle thing when she says, "I am the culture," right? And in a place where women are the culture, what becomes the role of men?
Subservient.
Eunuch.
Serfs. You know. But dude, all problems. Yeah, I know people like, man, y'all be on your panel talking about women, whatever. You know. No, we just talking about where the source of the issue is, and that's why we've kind of separated from these types of people. At least speaking
Yeah,
for myself.
but it's not just straight up women though. Like, because we've identified that the males versus the men, and like your biggest enemy is always going to be the males.
I agree.
Did you
It's
guys
all,
listen to the? Did you guys listen to the press conference of and this is wild to me to hear, right? Did you guys listen to the press conference of the husband of the woman that got shot during Juneteenth? Because these blacks that are of upper class have the disconnect, as Hood said the other day. They don't understand that you can't save all these little niggas, nappy headed niggas running around. Some of them just need to die. Did you hear what the husband said? Very telling. He goes, "Oh, I would have ideas and she would implement them." And then in the same breath turns around and said, "She ruled me and ruled the kids, and I'm an adult and she ruled me." And I said, "What is this nigga talking about?"
Whoa.
Yo, go and listen to it.
I ain't gotta listen to it. It sounds like my daddy. I don't need to listen.
Hey,
Another
dirty
one of my
folks, you ain't gonna like this. I want to say something about Juneteenth real quick. So, contrary to what y'all may think, I don't really have a problem with Juneteenth. I did it in like 1996, and I call myself a professor of history and knowledgeable, right? And it was mostly a regional thing, right? But even in Minnesota, when I moved there in 1996, even there, oh, I can't blame this element, dirty folks. That's what I was gonna say. It was like I went to one of these things. I heard gunshots. I'm like, man, I'm never going to that shit again. And they had to literally, they had to literally stop it. Like between '98 to 2001, is that 3 years, 4 years? They just had to stop having it because every year was a shooting. And then when they restarted it up, guess what happened again? Just take a wild guess, you know. I'll give you a hint. It wasn't peaceful or whatever, right? And I'm like, man, this is some of the most ratchet shit ever, you know. So just wanted to throw that in there.
Not only that, bro. This is why I don't like Juneteenth. I don't like Juneteenth because all it symbolizes is niggas is late for everything. You don't know for 2.5 years. That's why I don't like Juneteenth. It makes
Yo,
no
that's
sense.
good, dirty. That's good. That's good.
Hey, real quick, fellas. Shout out to Billy Porter. Shout out to Billy Porter on that Juneteenth also.
Man.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
Anyway, forget he just said that. But I want to bring up this next clip. This is probably going to be our last clip, and then we got to wrap this up here. But the topic right now in this clip is emasculating the young men. They're not talking about it in these terms exactly, but that's what they're talking about.
The challenges, I guess, of raising a son today, for a litany of reasons. I think that we can certainly get into. Obviously, this is something that's been on my mind a little bit. You know, in a world where I think boys are certainly more aware of toxic masculinity, for example. It's certainly not something that when we were growing up, boys were taught about. And then how you see on the internet certain pockets of young men who are retaliating in response to that, rise of things like incel, backlash. We just saw the Chiefs kicker refer to this of encouraging men to embrace their masculinity and all of that. So it's I guess I would summarize it as this conflict between being a mom who's like, I'm proud of having a son and I love having a son, versus this tension with this idea of like, ooh, I'm worried about raising a son right now because it seems like it's really tricky. It's a bit of a minefield, perhaps, in a way that maybe it's not for people who are fathers or mothers of daughters.
And it's like kind of perfectly encapsulated by the last line of this piece, where the author asks her son what he thinks about the term boy mom. And his response was a pause for a second and said, oh, it's a trans mom. And it's like, I remember thinking that I had to be conscious of teaching my sons that like different orientations and different identities are okay.
You probably got a son.
I don't have to teach. Like they talk about that in maybe it's different places, but
yeah,
my kids are more. My son, I have one son and two daughters. My son is more progressive and more understanding.
Oh my God,
those things
than
I am. So like figuring out what's required of you as a girl, or excuse me, as a boy mom, or even as a boy dad. What is required of you when you're raising these kids in this particular soup that we have now?
Dominique said something which
Houseway.
Yo, like I'm not necessarily a fan of hers. I'm not necessarily a fan of hers because she always be taking pot shots at my team now. But I didn't know she had a son. Is she married?
Who is this chick?
She's like one of the ESPN announcers or whatever. She was like on a couple of those like panel shows they had on ESPN a while ago. And
I've never seen her.
She's Korean. I know she's Korean. She always be talking crazy about the Titans, man.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize her face. I just don't know her name. Like I've seen her before.
Yeah, because she got hired on the same time like Mina Kimes did, but she left because she's like extremely pretty. So she gonna go to other opportunities or whatever.
This guy said she's Korean, as if they don't all look alike. I mean,
Billy Porter
anyway.
Kids, man. No, let's not go past the faggotry. Billy Porter has 3 children. And
that's not Billy Porter, is it?
Was that Billy Porter?
No, man. No. Billy Porter. Billy Porter.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask. Is that Billy Porter without a dress on? I was gonna ask that.
I thought it was Billy Porter. That's what I'm like. You got a three kids.
No, that's not Billy Porter, man.
Who is that?
I can't remember. He's like one of them dudes, man. He's not. He's like a discount Bomani Jones or whatever.
Oh, all right. I was confused.
Discount Bomani Jones.
That's crazy.
No, but a lot of these commentators, man, don't be like really that good. So they gotta like do shock value. So they gotta talk crazy to like all these different fan bases, whatever, and piss them off, like just to get any engagement online. You know what I'm saying? Then they get on their shows talking about all the hate they getting, and I was like, yo, you better be like Bane. You better be born in that shit if you're gonna like go to a fan base and talk crazy to them a whole bunch. Hey, especially Joy Taylor in her Pride speech the other day.
Joy Taylor is the she could be the poster child of why I say girls should be seen and not heard. Cause she really is pretty. And then she talks, she be like, oh, this ditzy bitch. Like, shout out to Joy Taylor. But Joy Taylor believes in affirmative action. She believes that nobody needs to be qualified. She is the DEI hire. I ain't gonna say of DEI hires. That would be Jamel Hill. But she like up there with DEI hires. She pretty though, but she should.
Here's the thing: if you guys haven't realized, all women are DEI hires. My buddy actually called me and spoke with me about something, and he was telling me about some chick, and she got kicked out of another space because she wasn't capable, but she was able to rise in one space, and he was like, "Yo," he was like, because all the men here are covering for her, and I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, bro, that's affirmative action." Like, you don't get it. Like, you were taught to believe that affirmative action is only for black people. Affirmative action, for the most part, is for all women, because without affirmative action, most of those women are not going to make it.
I
Oh,
think is what's kind of at the
you
root
know
of
what I
this, which
looked
is
up? This is
the
me in the
world
comments.
is now, and by the world, schools, social systems, internet, everything, pop culture, celebrities, social media, they are teaching young men about this stuff that maybe Dominique thought he would have to do, right? Which
Yeah.
is to say about their own privilege, which on one hand is certainly better than what it was like when we were growing up and boys weren't taught any of those things. But the concern that she expresses, or that certain, I think, parents express, is like, okay, but I don't want him to feel bad about himself. Does that strike you as a fake concern?
Okay, she is married. I didn't see a ring though.
So these are the new domesticated face niggas, like Freedman's Journal like to say.
I'm right.
These are the conversations they have.
I am right.
How to raise my boy without all the toxic masculinity.
I miss the toxic gays, bro. Remember back in the day when you knew that you were in a class with somebody sweet, and y'all know he had hands though. Like he'll fight. Like he might be. Well, he really was gay. Like this is manufactured. Gay fashion, gay trends. You know how many high school boys I've heard say that as long as you're the pitcher and not the catcher, you're not gay. I'm like, I don't think that's how gay work, bro.
Yeah, but what does it mean to have a progressive child? What does that mean?
He's gay or gay adjacent.
What is the progress?
That's really that's the only direction we're progressing to. It's not like we're building spaceships, you know what I mean? It's not like it's solving world hunger or homelessness or whatever. Freeman, you got a clip here you want to put up on the
Okay.
screen.
So, view this clip and the message it has in perspective of gynocratic mothership. All right.
Condition.
I used to call, whenever like a manly man would be married for a long time and then, what I'm saying, be worn down and just turn into a yesteryear guy. I used to call that like, sent by 1,000 cuts. This is something similar to that, but with their sons. And they raise the type of men, some of these women anyway, where they would never, ever want these men to even be around them.
That's a fact, true hype. Because when you look now, right? Look at all the women, all the men that the community have raised. What are the women of the community saying?
There are no good men. But here's the thing. The thing is women only can raise killers, cowards, or gays. They have no other. They don't raise upstanding young men. They don't raise strong men. Killers, cowards, gays. That's all a woman can do because that's all a woman is, right? So you when you are raised to be a great guy, I guarantee you didn't have anything to do with your mom. She may have been a factor of raising you, but she didn't teach you. You had outside mentors. You found one. You found a coach or a mentor or a big homie, or you got a job and somebody took you in as an apprentice. Women aren't really good at anything but clothes on, bro. The best thing they could do is be support for a man that's teaching you. Go make the sandwiches while he teaches you how to change a tire. And some women know how to change a tire, don't get it twisted, but do you really want to learn that from a woman? Like I am pro and none of us are anti-women on these spaces. I don't think women come in black. None of us are anti-women. We're anti-liberal women because liberal women they define themselves by masculine traits: strong, independent, resilient. Those are masculine traits. That's football coach speak. They don't define themselves as sweet, gentle, demure, nurturing. They don't bake cookies for the neighborhood. And matter of fact, if they have to cook for you, they think it's slavery. They're not good at being people. They're playing outside their role and doing a horrible job. Anyway,
Yep. So, in light of that clip, how many black boys have been raised to be low key sociopaths?
Chicago.
I mean, I think it's a response to your environment too. Because like if you're in a dangerous environment, you're gonna have to move a certain way, but can't do it in a way where kind of you can't displease mama, right? So you're gonna be like a Norman Bates type of dude.
The environment is, but the environment is dangerous because there's too many women talking with clothes on. I'll give you a perfect example. When I was in second or third grade, I can't remember which one. Anyway, I had taffy apples. Remember y'all? Remember the back in the day you had the taffy apple fundraiser or whatever the case may be. I had taffy apples, and I was walking out of school, and somebody stole my taffy apples, and I chased them, and I beat them up, and I got my taffy apples back. Right now, during the course of this happening, my dad decided to get off early for work and surprise me by picking me up from school. But it happened so quick. I beat him up, took my taffy apples, right? And then I looked up and saw my dad. I'm 7, 8 years old. I'm happy to see my dad. And I got my taffy apples, right? So we get home and my dad gives me a speech. To this day, I think it was the right speech applied at the wrong time. To this day. But the speech was about um conflict resolution. Like, yo, always be cognizant if you could talk your way out of a situation. Try to be diplomatic first before you go to violence. To this day, I think it was the wrong application because I got my taffy apples back. He took my shit, but I understood what my dad was saying. Right. The flip side is when you listen to black women, their first thought is violence. You better go out there and beat them up, and you better not come back home unless you win, or I'm gonna beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? They create the environment at a young, early age for the violent to be a volatile, emotional person.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but going back to that original clip that Hood played earlier in the song, or not earlier in the song, earlier in the show, where the mama that was crying about like what these guys could have did. It was three of them, all that stuff. Instead of stabbing up her baby boy, and now he's dead. I was like, yeah, all you have to do is respect personal property too, and you ain't gonna be like laying in a pot, a pool of your own, liquids, fluid.
That's a
Next thing
fact.
he had taffy apples in the car. I feel his pain. Now that I said the story again. Yeah, fuck, protect your taffy apples, Mexican.
No, but I'm like, what you supposed to do, man? Like, hey, you don't know. And then in that area, I guarantee you, people get shot every day, b.
You'll
So
be all right.
somebody reaches for their belt, you know what I'm saying, or in their pants. They're probably not gonna give you taffy apples. Just saying.
Yo, but that goes to show you, right? That goes to show you the psyche of the black woman, that she thinks, right, that she is supposed to be able to get away with anything, and there's always supposed to be this lesser consequence that doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. And what they don't understand is that doesn't apply for men.
Well, that's the problem. Like the whole escalation of violence. Very few women, if any have any clue how that works.
Yeah.
And in
They
fact,
do.
you will be fighting somebody, and you'll have that soft, kind-hearted woman that doesn't want you to fight, and will like interfere with your fight and actually cause you to possibly die.
Bro, the way I elbowed that bitch should be good. I should get an award, bro. Cause here's the thing: if you know me and I'm fighting, you're trying to stop me from fighting, but you're not stopping my opponent from hitting me. So, nigga, the way I elbow that bitch in the jaw, nigga, cause you the ops at this point. I think you holding me for him. But I digress.
Yeah,
That's weird. Yeah, but you know what though? I mean, some of that is a lot of men's fault because they don't train their women, right? And I tell you,
agreed.
right? And here's a quick story. We were at Woodbury Commons. If you guys know New York, you know what Woodbury Commons is. And it was me, my girl, and my daughters, and we buying clothes for my daughters. And this was during the 19 bullshit. So they had the dressing room protocol and all of that, right? And some spick, my daughter's in line. I forget how old she is. She was in between 12 and 15 or something like that, right? And yeah, because COVID, yeah, somewhere there, 11, something like that. And she's in line going to the dressing room, right? And some spick says something to her, and immediately I turn around and let him know, hey, you have nothing to say. Keep your fucking mouth closed, right? Because I will punch a hole in your face. Like, don't you ever speak to my child. And I never forget, right? After I said something to him, he started yammering on in spick language. And as he was yammering on, I'm like, yeah, bro, you could like say whatever you want, but like don't ever speak to my child. And I remember my kid's mother looking up and then just went back to looking at the clothes and never said a word, right? Because she understood there's nothing here for me to be involved in, right? It's just he's dealing with another man. I have no place involving myself.
Yep.
And right, and that's what a lot of guys like. That's how a lot of guys need to train in women. You have no reason to involve yourself, right? I am the one that will deal with this. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, I got scenarios, man. Like if I'm at that stage, like early stage or whatever, I go through, like scenario, like kind of programming kind of thing, and I'll be like, all right, if we're in this situation, because I can't have a liability on my hands. Like if she's gonna be a liability to me or whatever, we can't be together. Because that's gonna be too much. That's gonna be too much anxiety for me. Because now I'm gonna have to worry about some other shit that I shouldn't have to worry about. Whether it's like egressing or whatever. Oh man, this joint right here is crazy, man.
This is this hood mama. This my mama, bro. These bitches is not your friends.
Come get mad at Storm after Carly. He on the phone fussing at his girlfriend. Ain't got $1 in the bank. I said, girl, you ain't got to let a broke nigga be on the phone telling you what to do. He done got at the car, slammed the door, talking about I can't tell my girlfriend what to do. Not when you broke, nigga. Girl, you ain't got to listen to no broke nigga telling you what to do. Hey, go ahead and hang up on him flat. It ain't even a flip phone. I don't care. Flip it flat. Hey, I ain't got to listen to nothing that you say. I'm the one that's buying you a new shirt. Child. He done got mad at me and talking about, why are you gotta say these things? Why I don't want to talk on the phone around you because why would you say that to my girlfriend? She does need to listen to me. She ain't gotta listen to no broke nigga. I don't care who. Listen, my son or not. You ain't gotta listen to this nigga. Ain't even got no money. Please, he asking you for stuff and then want to tell you what to do. I'm like, you gonna ask me for something and then you want to tell me what to do. I'm not gonna do it.
See, it was the my son or not part that really did it for me. That line right there, because it's indicative of something. Sisterhood is thicker than blood.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy too, Hood, about this? If you asked her, okay, if this dude was like, a multimillionaire, would you have to do all the depraved stuff that he wanted you to do then? And then she would just say no. Which is it?
No, but this is a far worse crime than whether or not a woman wants to slut it out for a millionaire. That's basic. No. Think about this, right? You are charged with rebuilding said community, and these are the women that you come from. These are the women giving you this mission, and she doesn't support your own patriarchy. Patriarchy starts at home. That's the crime. That's the betrayal right there. And that's why I kind of I remember I used this clip on the stream before, but that's kind of the part that stuck out to me. It's not even just that you believe a woman don't have to listen to no man. Now you actively sacrificing your son publicly, openly. Not only did you do it in front of the girl, but you coming on on the internet, showing everybody and telling everybody the story. And this is how little black women as a group believe in the idea of male authority or their men in general. Like when Courtney in the show was talking about how she identifies with black men. I don't believe none of y'all bitches.
Man, like it's hard for me to believe. Like they used to say blood is thicker than water. But like there's been several situations where I've been like, where that saying come from anyway? Who made that up?
No, vagina is thicker than blood. That's why they bleed every month. They can live without the blood part. The vaginas tie them together forever.
Yeah, cum is thickening in blood. And Cornelius, that's the problem. Cornelius said, "What is community without family?" And there you have it. So, and only men can create a family. A woman with kids is a single mother. A man and a woman with no kids, just have a dog. That's a family portrait. The man is the backbone of family and community. So you can't you gotta man, to start from scratch, you gotta start with new laws and new religions, bro. And you can do that. We can do that now. Like people keep asking the government needs to have less laws. We need less than we already have, so we can do that now. There's
Well,
people that do that now.
the more laws they put on the book, the more people obfuscate their own personal responsibility
I
because
get it.
they look to the government to do more, so they think they have to do less. And in
Right.
all actuality, we need to do more in our own personal lives.
That's
That's
why
why
women
we're in this mess.
that's why
Because
women should vote. I'm with you,
yeah,
bro.
well, yeah. I mean, and
I think
it's
that's
like a
no, I think
go
that's
ahead.
part of the reason why we have all these laws accumulating the way they do anyway, is to give this sense of this over and this all encompassing, suffocating kind of motherly love sort of government.
Yeah, and it's funny for what True Hype just said because I was just getting ready to say like if you pay attention, and I think this is something that gets missed because they do all these fake marches and all of that, right? But a lot of these women are okay with the police beating their sons and shooting their sons than they are with the father ridiculing and training their sons early on.
Oh,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, definitely. I mean,
They would rather the police shoot the father than the father discipline the son.
yeah. Game Changer just had a video on a pretty long one, like in the last, I think maybe 2 weekends ago. Great video, detailed a mother calling the police on her son, just like that.
That's what they do when you get taller than them, because this is how women's minds work. You can't work like a frog or a worm or something. Here's the thing: you are her baby until you're your eye level, and then you're one of them niggas. It happens like in a birthday. For the first 12 years, that's my baby. Then one day, one of them niggas, you look like your daddy. It's weird.
That's a fact.
Well, women used to understand that there was a point to where there had to be a rite of passage or whatever for the boy to actually become a man.
Women never understood that. Men took
No,
the kids.
yeah, no, yeah, women don't understand what men are. That's why we're in this position now, as if they
No,
could
I'm not saying what they are. They don't even have to understand the ritual of the rite of passage, but they understood it happened and it had to happen
Well,
because
I mean, yeah, okay.
it was just tradition. Hey,
And
whatever.
they cried about that, even though it's fiction, right? The movie 300, right? The movie 300. How did they go down? Because some woman didn't want her retarded, malignant kid to get thrown over a cliff, and that cake ass nigga she was married to put down his sword and shield. Well, he kept the shield apparently, and ran off with his wife and his retarded child. For that child to come back 30 years later and help them get colonized.
And you know what that child represents? The angry, vengeful mutant that we kind of have, like in modern society. All these weird-looking, unbeautiful people who hate goodness and morality, and they hate beauty. This is a common theme, like the hunchback sort of thing. There is always that person. They were almost destined to hate everything that's good and normal, and so they have to attack it.
Well, what's funny about that, right, Hood? They have somehow convinced the pretty people that ugliness is a virtue.
Yeah, I'm sad about that. I know a beautiful girl. You know, back in the day, they used to call it athletically built. You know what I'm saying? Athletically, trying to eat fucking donuts. Talking about, so I'm trying to get thick. I'm slim thick right now. I'm like, shorty, why are you doing this to yourself? Yeah.
You
You know,
see it most starkly in the liberal white girl, like before and after, like before she goes to college, or even better is the before while she was a crazy feminist, and then after when she got her life together and gave herself to Jesus and she looks pretty again. Like it's obvious you were at war with beauty. You were at war with the concept of life. This is why I was talking about the whole anti-life equation at one point in time. It's like you really do hate the very idea of life, and it shows in your physical being.
Yeah, but
I
all
don't know.
these,
I don't know how many. I think a lot of pretty women go along so they don't get their face cut. But when you look at a lot of those, like when you look at a lot of those liberal women that go from like basic bottom 4 or 5 to like mutilated monster, they're not really pretty. You don't really see that among pretty chicks.
Okay, they don't do it not to get their face cut. That's high school stuff. I agree if
Right.
they're in high
Look at
school.
what you said. The basic 4 or 5. You're already talking about the people on the losing end of the selection deal.
Right. Beautiful women. You never forget that beautiful people and good athletes, male athletes and beautiful women are narcissistic by nature. Like beautiful women really don't care. They stick up for the sisterhood, but it's like surface. But they don't care, bro. It ain't real life, bro. When we eating tacos, bro, they don't give a fuck about these ugly girls. Like for real, for real. They don't care about treating men. They don't care about nothing. They can have 500 bodies and they'll get 500 more. You know why? Because they're gorgeous.
well, the ones at the tippity top, yes, that they because life has given them lemons to make their lemonade. Why the fuck would you go with them? But then there's enough of them that are like under that tippity top scale to where they kind of just go along because like maybe they have like some kind of issue or something like that. But you're even seeing this in architecture and all this stuff. We used to actually make stuff like functional and beautiful. Now we make like this weird looking box that's just ugly.
And it doesn't even function properly all the time.
Yes.
With bad material. Like you break down in 3 years intentionally, so they gotta repair it. It's crazy. I don't know, bro. Okay, back to the original topic because I know Hood in the back cooking up rice for another clip.
Shit, I'm halfway through a meal already.
Shout out to you, sir. The black, if you want to call them black, heterosexual, tawny and swarthy men have the ability to solve our own problems as a collective. The problem is so many want to be individual, and I understand why. But you got to get over that. Because if you can buy, if you can marry a traitorous woman, you can link up with a dude who just keep one eye on him. You do it every day anyway. Men can solve their own problems. Police officers, men. Best teachers, men. There's some good female teachers, but not for real, for real. Like when you think about your whole scholastic career, you had like two or three good teachers. But if you really thought about it, you had over 160 teachers. Because think about it, you had 9 different teachers every year in high school, right? Men can do it as long as they don't include the daggle. Once they put toddlers in the mix, it's going to be an impossible task. Impossible. Your biggest allies are white men and liberal white women. As long as you don't sleep with her, don't sleep with the white girl. Liberal white women who want to save the coloreds because they always want to save some shit.
That that is what's so unsettling about this issue being raised by a guy like Bruce Watkins. Is like as much as you want to save the community, you have way too much faith in the women for me to believe your intentions.
Yeah, but I'm like, he knows what the problem is, but he himself is scared to say anything about the women that are a problem. Even when it's like, and like, do you think he would ever mention anything about all the women sleeping with the students?
I don't know.
Even
Maybe.
even white women, I don't think he would say anything about.
I have yet to see an ugly teacher sleep with the students. They be cute girls too. Damn shame.
Because the
Um,
students ain't going to sleep with an ugly teacher, sir. Come on now.
you know what?
You
Touche,
got to
brother.
be hot to do that. I mean,
Touche.
relatively hot.
You got to be Miss Crabtree. I give you that. I give you that.
It's crazy the numbers, man. And then people are just like, oh well. And it's just like damn, man, like Who's educating anybody in these failed systems? No wonder they can't read. They worried about their outfit for the first graders or whatever.
Well,
Trying to get some attention on, like, to start an OnlyFans career in 2 to 3 years.
It's obvious the educational system has given up on traditional education as we would define it. They're up to something else now. That's why they have these conversations about toxic masculinity and systemic racism and all that stuff. Nothing that has to do with 1+1 = 2 or why George Washington crossed the Delaware River. None of the critical facts. So
Seeking my creator. You don't sleep with the white women that want to save black men for the same reason you don't sleep with black women with good customer service. Women can help you or they can fuck you, but they can't do both. You gotta pick your poison, bro.
Oh my god. Oh man.
that kind of explains the lack of marriage in Black America. A lot of fucking, not a lot of helping. We're gonna wrap this one up.
There we go.
I have to make myself available to other venues. You guys take care. We are gonna put this one on the record books. I appreciate all you guys showing up today. Shout out to the panelists. This was actually a pretty cool conversation. Um, I don't think anybody on the panel has really shown faith in the idea, but I think the question still remains: how do you have faith in something that hasn't really presented itself? Like that's kind of what killed me about the Boyce Watkins clip. Like, dude, like you say we have the ability, but you also say we haven't shown it, and I'm like, how, Slay? But we got to ponder this one for the eons. I'm gonna end this one here. Thanks to everybody who donated to the show. I appreciate y'all coming through. I gotta be somewhere, so we can't do the extra long, big Saturday 8-hour marathon panel tonight. But we will be back for another show, maybe tomorrow or the next day. You guys take care. Peace out, y'all.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.